Welcome, everybody, to Scott County High School for 42nd District Boys Basketball. The Scott County Cardinals, with a record of 6-10, but just getting it started for the district schedule. 7 games, about half the remaining slate is district games. So the Cardinals really just beginning. Blue Devils 7-7. They are 0-1 in the district with a surprising loss at home against Sayre. They have played a tough schedule out of the district, though, so they will be the typical Henry Clay matchup, a tough matchup at that, as they will keep the game close and probably low scoring with defense, I would imagine, as we have seen the past couple of years. Cal Oaks along with Derek Varney. And Derek, is that what you're expecting tonight? We've seen this Blue Devils team last year. I think of the 2 games against Great Crossing that they played, really turned it into a half-court affair, really tough and physical, and play bigger than their size.
Cal, it's been, I was thinking earlier, how many games you and I have done, Scott County, Henry Clay, and they're all turned into a football game. They play similar. Henry Clay's going to play just like their coaches, Daniel Brown, very, very tough player in his days. He's a tough coach. Talking to him earlier, he said he's had some tough breaks, had Madison Central get beat on a last-second shot. And as you said, they're at 500. But also, as you spoke about earlier, new season. Talked to Coach Glenn yesterday. It's basically like you're 0-0 when you're coming into your first district game. And, with that being said, I'm looking forward to just a great matchup tonight in, 42nd district basketball, 11th region basketball. Here we are in early January, and I think it should be a good one.
Yeah, you look at Henry Clay's 7-7 record, and it's you've got some quality losses, if there is such a thing, on there. They've lost to McCracken County, who last I checked was the only undefeated team in the state. That was a 6-point loss. 4-game losing streak right now, but Simon Kenton was one of those. They're tough up north of us. Lincoln County, defending 12th region champion and probably the favorite this year. You mentioned Madison Central, and then Sayre. I'm telling you, this 42nd district this year, Frederick Douglass may be a slight favorite, but then the rest of the pack, it's going to be a dogfight for second between those 4 teams.
It is, and and also talking to Coach Glenn, he's very optimistic, one of the most positive guys you ever meet. He says, he said, we can pull one out here at home on Tuesday night tonight against Henry Clay. He said, who knows what's going to happen if you can go and sneak one out at Douglas on Friday night. And he said, then you're sitting in, as he would say, you're sitting in that catbird seat. So very optimistic. He said they've had good practices and they're 100% healthy with Jay-Z Middleton back, and he's able now to go Middleton. He's probably going to go Brown, and then Micah, and then he's able to go Nick Mosby, and then whoever the fifth one is there. I guess it would be Lamarion. That's who I'm thinking he's going to go. But he said he hasn't had that lineup before.
Just having 2 real ball handlers out there and having an extra shooter that can stretch the floor a little bit, take the pressure off of Nick Mosby and Micah Glenn, I think will only help this team. Now, the other night, Micah Glenn, we didn't know it when we were on the air. He'd been battling 103-degree fever the day before, so he really wasn't himself in the loss to Great Crossing. He got held scoreless in that game. Great Crossing really had its way with its athletes, with its size, 69-33. Malachi Marino had just a monster game. This is a little more picking on a team their own size, literally, in terms of Henry Clay. They've got the big guy, Kyan Miller. But other than that, they've got Mason Hawkins, who's very crafty and can score in a bunch of different ways.
Yep.
The Brown siblings, it seems like we've had 1 or 2 on the roster every year for about the past half dozen years. And so it's kind of the devil they know, to no pun intended.
Absolutely. And, talking to Coach Brown down there earlier, he said, he said Scott County people are thinking he said, once again, you think they're having a down year. He said, they flat out right guard you. I said, watching the Great Crossing game the other night, Great Crossing scored 63 points, but a lot of those came in the fourth quarter just on fast breaks. I said he's back to playing what he calls Coach Glenn calls it his pinch defense, ball line, Tubby Smith defense. And he said that as far as being able to put it in the hole, that's the problem.
There was about a 6-minute segment of that game, late second quarter, early third, where they held Great Crossing scoreless. They shut them out. And granted, Great Crossing had an 18-point lead. They led by 14 at the half. Scott County kind of lurked around until midway through the third quarter before the Warhawks really stretched that thing out. But this is a Scott County team that's played the usual tough schedule. They haven't dumbed things down. They lost by 2 over the holidays to a team that made it to the Tennessee State Final last year in Bearden. They won their other 2 games down in the Smoky Mountains. They won their last game in the LCA tournament. So they were kind of on a little bit of a roll before they came home. Kind of a tough loss, inexplicable in some ways to Bourbon County. And then Great Crossing, you can understand, they're a top 5 team in the state. That's going to happen. But I think what you said about having everybody back, that continuity, if they can keep everybody healthy, keep everybody together, keep everybody committed to coming to practice and games 7 days a week, they've got a shot.
Well, absolutely. Any team around the state that loses a point guard plus one of their best shooters, they're going to be down a little bit. And that's that's unfortunate part about Jay-Z Middleton, him being out. But now he's back. We're early January, first 42nd district game right here. And he, again, if Jay-Z Middleton hits one, his range is unlimited. He's going to get you in your offense. He's going to free up Micah Glenn and Nick Mosby on the wings. Oh, and then you look up and you got Daquise Brown, who is able to break you down off the dribble. If he stays within his game, makes the plays he can make, only he can make, I think they're going to be in pretty good shape.
I'm watching Jay-Z Middleton. He's still got some heavy tape on that left wrist, but he is making shots from the Toyota Classic decal out here, the old Toyota Classic. Now it's the Billy Hicks Classic, of course, but he's still got the old range. It's coming back to him, and he's a guy that when he makes one, makes 4 or 5 in a row. And as I said, I just think he's going to make life easier for Nick Mosby. All of the defensive attention that opponents have had to pay this year has been to Nick, and he has still been a double-digit scorer every night. He still just hit 1,000 for his career. Congratulations to Nick in the Great Crossing game. So it's I think it's just going to make this team better if they can keep everybody together.
Oh, absolutely, because you had Micah Glenn and Nick Mosby. They seemed like when they were playing had the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they can't play it. Now I think they're going to be able to relax because you know what? We got other options out here on the floor that can score.
We've got the national anthem. We played by the Scott County Band, and we'll be back with you with the starting lineups on the other side. Welcome back. Cal Oaks, Derek Varney here for Scott County. Henry Clay boys basketball, 42nd district. One team is going to be on the board in the district when this night's over. Henry Clay playing its second. They lost to Sayre. Scott County making its district debut this year. This seems like the first time in a long time that game's been at home. They've had to play that district opener on the road quite a bit. And it's tough to come from behind if you lose that one. So
well, it's very welcome due to when you're struggling a little bit. You want as many as you can at home, especially that first district one.
Seems like they haven't played at home in a while. It was well before Christmas. So good to see the Cards back out here. Their starters will be Jay-Z Middleton, Daquise Brown, Micah Glenn, Nick Mosby, and Lamarion McGrath. For the Henry Clay Blue Devils, Conlon Brown, Mason Hawkins, Henry Lynch, Brighton Garrett, and I missed the fifth.
Got the law offices of Brown and Brown out there.
Got the Brown. Oh, it's the two Brown siblings.
The Browns.
That's the fifth one that I missed. Cason Brown.
Yes.
Conlon is he's a veteran. This is his third year in the main rotation for the Blue Devils. Just to go over their stats on the season, Hawkins averaging 16.4 a game, Conlon Brown 13.9, and Henry Lynch 10.1. So you've got three guys averaging double digits. Cason Brown 5.6. 67% free throw shooting team, a 31.9% three-point shooting team, and they shoot 42% from the field overall. Nick Mosby, as we mentioned, 1,000-point scorer for his career. He needed 8 the other night. He got 12. He had to work for it. I believe he was 4 for 14 in that game. This changes, it gives the depth to the bench, too. You've got guys like Eli Moody now that can come off the bench in this situation. Noah Gallagher. There's been some guys that have had to make a bunch of spot starts that maybe can just give Tim Glenn some options.
No question, and I think they'll be more comfortable, Cal. They're able to see what's going on out there instead of being thrown into a role and asked to do things that they're normally not accustomed to doing. Now they can come in, play a little mop-up duty, get some rebounds. And what's better is they're coming off the bench, and they had been starters before, so they got a lot of experience under their belt coming off the bench.
And it's a good thing for Coach Tim Glenn, is it gives him some things to hold his starters accountable with. When you have 5 healthy bodies, you can't really pull them out of the game if something's going awry. Lamarion McGrath will jump it.
Get a little 42nd district basketball going here. Yes, sir.
Here we are. McGrath wins the tap, but it goes to Henry Clay. And there is a quick 3 from Hawkins, short front rim, but a strong rebound up and in by number 21, Brighton Garrett. He is the lowest.
That absolutely cannot happen
starters
immediately, Cal. That's McGrath watching the flight of the basketball and not finding somebody to block out.
Just an uncontested rebound there, too.
Henry Clay opens up in man, but a very soft man.
Open
as you see
3
right there.
from Micah Glenn off the rim, no good, but a rebound from Mosby. He got tied up a little bit, gets it to McGrath. McGrath thought about a 3. Now he finds Glenn. Glenn over to Middleton for the reset.
I think Scott County is going to be able to get what they want if they're patient on the offensive end tonight. I mean, just cut, move, and cut right there. You got Nick Mosby where you want him around the foul line.
Cut for Middleton. The floater is in and out, and the rebound to Conlon Brown. Here come the Devils up 2-0. Long pass ahead. They tried to work it inside to Garrett, stolen by Micah Glenn. Good outlet to Daquise Brown for the lay-in.
That a baby right there.
Queese ties it at 2, first minute of the game.
And that's good hands on this end by Scott County playing that ball line defense. That's what caused the turnover.
Brown guarded by Brown, Conlon and Daquise for the 2 respective teams. Conlon gets it back. McGrath comes over to help out. Now Brown will chase the 0-0 of Cortavian Smith, but Conlon Brown hits a 3. A deep 3.
Yeah, he cannot, but you know what? That was very uncontested, Cal. I mean, they ran their offense and they got what they wanted. That's what Scott County needs on the other end.
5-2.
But they have to get out on the shooters because Conlon Brown will absolutely kill you.
Daquise Brown being left open. Henry Clay not really respecting his ability to hit the 3. He can do it, but doesn't take many, admittedly. McGrath finds Middleton. He will not be shy. He finds Brown at the right elbow, and now he'll back it out.
And I'm great with this. If you don't have it, back it out. Henry Clay is not going to play tight, sticky, in-your-face defense. They're going to lay back and play just a loose man-to-man.
They're going to make you make shots.
Yes.
They dare you to take them and make them.
It's almost a soft matchup zone is what it is. That's kind of what they're playing.
Daquise Brown finds Glenn. Glenn right side. He's going to take the open 3. Yes.
That a baby. It's almost like he hesitated, Cal, and that's what I was talking to Coach Glenn about last night. I was like, Mosby and Michael both hesitate on shots.
5 apiece to start it out. Conlon Brown from deep again, NBA range, nothing but off the rim and in. Not nothing but net, but it worked the same way.
Kyle, if I'm not mistaken, do you remember last year when Brown hit about 7 threes against us here last year?
He can get red hot.
Yes,
Mosby
he can.
took a wild layup that was probably not the shot he wanted. Had a tough angle, but it went out of bounds off the Devils.
But again, I don't know if they're switching out here, what they're doing here, but that's 2 wide open looks for a great shooter.
8-5. Devils on top. 5:19 to play first quarter. Daquise Brown takes the inbounds pass. Mosby gets it back. Short turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound Smith.
Nick was surprised how wide open he was right there, Cal. That was one of Coach Glenn's patent beautiful out of bound under.
Hawkins gave it up for a foul line jumper that was no good by Lynch. Rebounded by Micah Glenn. Up ahead, corner 3 attempt for McGrath is good. Tied at 8.
He's got to be one of the best three-point at-home shooters.
He loves
right here.
This gym.
Right
Nowhere
here
else have I seen him do that sort of thing.
You're exactly right.
Here he is a catch-and-shoot threat.
Now you got Conlon Brown going to get a screen down right here. They got to switch that. That's where they're getting caught right there. That's a good job by Brown getting out there.
Conlon Brown, heat check three is no good. Mosby a rebound. Cards with a chance to take their first lead.
Conlon Brown from
way downtown. Mosby will try to do the same. Misses. Conlon with the rebound. Way up ahead to Lynch. Telegraph that. Mosby was there to play defense, but they're on the offensive boards.
Our guys got to sprint back.
Smith.
Our guys have got to sprint back down court.
Daquise Brown with the strong take. He'll draw the foul and go to the line with a chance to tie it back up.
And I hope Coach Glenn is seeing that there is no way Conlon Brown or Cason Brown or Hawkins can stay in front of Brown. There's no way in front of our Brown.
We got a lot of Browns on the court right now. 3 out of the 10.
Our Brown is much faster than their Browns.
He's a hot Brown, as it were.
He is a hot Brown.
Makes the first to make it 10-9.
And that's what Coach Glenn said last night. He said he's going to have J.Z. Middleton in about 3-minute spans. He's going to let him go in and go as hard as you can just to try to get his basketball legs under him.
McGrath will sit down, and Quade Miles checking into the game for the first time. Brown makes both free throws, 10 apiece. 4:13 to play first quarter.
Now McGrath just hit the three from the corner and got him a little confidence. I don't know if he asked to come out or if he's tired already. But I'm not questioning Cal.
Miles is a spark plug for sure when he comes in off the bench and doesn't have to start. He's another one of those guys we talked about. There's a wild pass that's tipped and intercepted by Daquise, who will take it and kick it. Step back for Micah is good.
Step back, Bobby Jack. Attaboy, Micah.
Inside the arc, and SC has its first lead at 12-10. 3:45 to play.
And he's 2 out of 3 from the floor. That's a good sign.
Conlon Brown, no conscience whatsoever. Missed the three. Miles throws it down to Daquise. Missed the layup, got it back. Had it blocked the second time, knocked out of bounds by Conlon Brown. It will stay with SC.
Daquise makes his wide receiver catch. Beautiful catch.
Good hands, as you might expect.
Yes.
Quade Miles, drive, floater, no good. Rebounded by number 21. That is Brighton Garrett.
Quade doesn't need to challenge the big boys down. He needs to pull up and shoot that little jumper right there, Cal.
Bounce pass inside. Reverse layup for Lynch is good, and we're tied up again with 3:13 to play.
Is that Lynch or Hawkins?
That is Henry Lynch,
Henry
number
Lynch.
14. Mason Hawkins, number 23, right now guarding Glenn.
Just keep being patient here. There we go. That's a great shot right there. It's okay.
Short, though, from the front rim by Glenn, rebounded by the Devils and Garrett. Conlon Brown never met a shot he didn't like. Right now, he's guarded by both Moody and Miles. Eli Moody is checked in for the first
Think about Conlon Brown. He's going to use a lot of useless dribbles just on a between the leg behind the back that goes nowhere.
He bounced it, tried to bounce it inside to Lynch, got picked off by Brown again. 3-on-2. Brown will take it himself.
Nice.
Queese puts the Cards on top. He's got 6.
Now keep pressuring Conlon Brown with the ball. He wants to be off the ball and catch and shoot. They got to keep pressure on the ball.
Mason Hawkins with it, guarded by Mosby. Mosby tipped it looked like, and it went off of Garrett. So
they're just not the best ball handlers, and that's the Scott County's advantage. And I think Coach Glenn is saying, pressure the ball, make them self-implode.
Middleton and Gallagher come in, and this is the best rotation and the most steady substitution pattern we've been able to see from the Cards all season long. It's a beautiful thing.
I like to get Jay-Z off the snide here, Cal.
He had a 7-point quarter the other night against Great Crossing. They're going to call an offensive foul on Nick Mosby, and he's kind of perplexed, and so am I.
That's not good off the ball.
That's the first foul on the Cards. Both teams now with one only, with 2:02 to play here in the opening quarter. It's been a fast-moving period for that reason. Both Daniel Brown and Tim Glenn working the official right now as Micah Glenn comes back to the scorer's table to check in. Bounce pass inside to Lynch. He's going to be fouled and go to the line. What I like is just Tim Glenn's able to – sometimes you just need a short breather, and he's able to give these guys one now, which he hasn't been able to do for a long time.
And again, now that they're healthy, it's good they're able to be able to do that. He needs to get, Micah's legs back under him. He's hit a couple shots. Now he's getting him back in the game.
Henry Lynch, 10-point scorer on the season per game, makes his third of the night there from the line to cut it to 14-13. Minute 55 to play in the opening quarter. Neither team is led by more than 3 to this point as Lynch ties it again. Third time this game has been level.
Here comes the full court press, and
we've got a timeout.
Going to get a timeout because of that. Good timeout right there.
They haven't been able to put on that press very much.
South Carolina 42, Kentucky 32 at half. As Kentucky is a 20-point favorite.
We're going to torture ourselves and follow that game throughout the night. Also following a key girls game in the 11th region as Great Crossing is hosting Madison Southern. They're down 1 right now, or the Lady Warhawks, about 5 minutes to go in the first half. That's a rematch of a game from the Billy Hicks Classic, a semifinal won by the Eagles 52-49.
221 patented Lexington Catholic press is put on by Henry Clay right now.
Well, we see that quite often from other schools in Lexington. It's like imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yep, sure is.
Because
if it's run correct, it works.
Yes. Exactly. Lexington Catholic having another good season, only 1 loss. They are in that top 5 with Great Crossing and Warren Central. And
they got a lot of weapons.
Cov Cath.
Keep the ball hot right here. Keep the ball hot. Off the out of bounds under, when it gets swung around, that's what you're looking for.
Mosby with it up top, drives to the foul line, kicks it to the corner for a Moody 3. Back rim, no good. Rebound by Hawkins. Conlon Brown with it. Brown gets it back to Hawkins. Hawkins drives for an elbow jumper extended, no good. Rebound comes down to Moody. Moody finds Glenn. Cards are tied up with 1:15 to go in the first period of this 42nd District opener. Inside to Eli Moody. Tough angle when he walked, I think. Nope, they're going to get a foul on the floor.
I think he got pushed.
We'll take it.
Yes, the push calls the walk.
Kyan Miller, he is a load. He's checked into the game.
Yes, he is.
Senior, son of Steve Miller, assistant coach. Played
1983 Mr. Basketball.
Played a lot of football for the Blue Devils over the past few years very well. And they missed there in a rebound for Hawkins as Glenn is yet to heat up. He's hit a couple, but it's been back and forth.
He's about 2 for 4, 2 for 5
hit or miss
right now. Yes.
Taking a good volume of shots, which we said he'd have some more open looks, and it's proving itself to be. Final minute, opening quarter. Conlon Brown not going to wait for the open look. He had Noah Gallagher just a little bit of cushion.
He's got 9 of the 17 for Henry Clay.
3s in triplicate for Mr. Conlon Brown. 17-14, the Henry Clay lead. There's a quick shot by Gallagher that's good.
Wow.
10 feet. Catch and shoot. We like that little piece of his repertoire.
That's the thing about Gallagher and Moody. They both catch it, and they got one thing on their mind.
Yeah, they want to get theirs when they get the ball. We'll take it when it goes. Cards are down by 1. 24 seconds to play in this opening quarter.
You got Kaysen Brown and Jay-Z Middleton really going at it, and the referee had to get on them right there. They're hand checking.
Kaysen will hold it for the final shot, it appears. 10 seconds on the clock.
Got to watch the high ball screen coming. High ball screen probably coming for.
Gives it to his brother Conlon. Conlon guarded by Gallagher. Fade away. Oh, my goodness. The 4th three-pointer of the opening quarter for Conlon Brown gives Henry Clay a 20-16 advantage at the horn.
And he's got 12 of them.
He's
Good
missed
quarter,
a couple,
Cal.
but I would say he's 4 for 6 from out there.
Right, he definitely is. Good quarter.
They've just got to find a way to cut down on anything resembling an open look for Conlon Brown.
Yeah, that's something that's an adjustment that's got to be made. I don't know if you put somebody longer on him. Well, for one thing, you cannot go behind the screens on the defensive end. You got to fight over the screen and make it tough for him to catch the ball. But when he catches it, gets his feet square, he's a knockdown shooter.
20, 25 feet. He doesn't have to be looking at the rim. He's one of those guys. And the Great Crossing girls are now in front at home, 22-20 over Madison Southern.
They're on the road.
They are at home.
They're at home.
2:55 to go in the second quarter. So they got to play Southern at home twice this year, thanks to the Billy Hicks Classic. That one was not.
And didn't they lose the first
scheduled.
one?
They lost in the semifinals by 3 in that tournament. So it's a revenge game. I know Matt Walls was looking forward to it. That night he was looking forward to it. He said, put that on your calendar, January 9th, pack the place.
They got Mosby at the foul line there with a bad mismatch. They need to get it to him.
Micah Glenn finds Daquise Brown, who had 6 points in the opening period. Cards down 4 to start it out. Inside to Mosby. Quick pass to Daquise on the left wing. Now he will find Glenn. Glenn has Middleton behind him. He will find him. He'll play pass up top for a while.
They've dropped back they're just playing a sloughing man-to-man, Henry Clay is.
Dropping off a little bit, giving some space.
There's a turnover.
There's Lynch with the reach in to get the interception and get it to Brown, and then the reach in and a bump to the knee or the ankle. Hopefully just
McGrath is hurt.
McGrath is limping. He committed the foul and then immediately was playing hopscotch out there. I think he landed awkwardly on his left ankle. And just when we were saying they were healthy for the first time, Lamarion limps off. We hope they can wrap it up and get him back out there.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay.
Inside to Miller. Miller double there.
They're
going to get Mosby again, I think, and if so, that's his second.
Yep, Mosby, or they got Moody.
It's Nick.
Yep.
That will be a tough situation for Tim Glenn. He's down 4. He looks to the bench. He taps Tristan Christopher on the shoulder.
Got to find Nick's got it. Don't foul, Nick.
Spin for Lynch. Short. Rebound, Mosby.
Lynch absolutely put Mosby in a spin cycle right there. That was ridiculous.
He just left it short. Middleton to Queese. Queese guarded by Conlon Brown. He will take him to the rim.
That'll never happen. He can never guard him.
Too strong on the layup and a rebound for Lynch. Here comes Conlon Brown quickly. Pull up inside the arc. Short. He's got to take only 3s. Rebound for Queese. Queese finds a cutting Glenn. Up and under for the layup.
Nice. Good pass.
Glenn with 7. Nice pass from Q. It's 20-18 Henry Clay. 6:20 remaining in the first half.
If you let Henry Clay play fast, they're going to put up shots that they don't want. That's a great
Brown
block.
blocked by Moody. And Christopher will check in for Mosby at this time. We'll see if he sits for the entire half or just a couple of minutes. Probably the tallest guy on the roster that I've seen, Peyton Mayhorn, checking in for Henry Clay.
He's a big kid.
Pretty rangy. I got to look at the roster to see exactly how tall they list him at. There is a nice back cut for Conlon Brown, but he again missed the layup.
That's what you want Conlon Brown to do. Let him do anything but stand still and shoot.
And a pass out of bounds and a turnover. Unforced error for the Cards. Mayhorn's listed at 6'8". He's a junior, 185 pounds. Kind of looks like a mini Malachi Marino with the hair.
And I do not think we need to double down on him.
No.
You can't leave the shooters
There's a reason he didn't start the game. This is a shooter-heavy Henry Clay team. Conlon gets it to Hawkins, guarded by Christopher. Now Moody will pick him up and trap him. Conlon Brown, though, finds Mayhorn for the dunk. So he's dangerous.
Yep.
We teased that one pretty well.
Should have been a technical right there.
Yeah, he definitely hugged and mugged the rim, and he wasn't trying to save anybody.
Best thing Scott can do here, run your offense and get a bucket. Run your offense and get a bucket right here.
Don't let that be a momentum swing.
Right. Cut hard and screen hard right here. Henry Clay will stop playing defense.
Micah Glenn to Christopher. Finds a wide open Queese Brown, who will say, I'll take that.
That's surprisingly, sometimes he does hit those. I mean, but right now, Daquise is playing within himself right now. He's playing a nice first half.
Not the number one part of his game, but he can make it. He's got 9, and they're within 1, but they leave Mason Hawkins open. He hits the back rim, fortunately, but Lynch goes after the rebound, and Henry Clay will get a chance to reset. Conlon Brown from 25 feet. My goodness, he cannot make a layup, but he just made his 5th three-pointer of the night.
That's 5 in the first half.
Stretch this back out to a 4-point advantage.
He loves this gym. He hits about 7 or 8 last time we played.
Unbelievable.
Now they're back into a zone. I like how Daniel Brown switches up defenses, but now we have to counteract right here. J.Z. Middleton has to be ready to shoot the basketball.
He'll do it. No, he won't. He'll get rid of it.
I thought he was stepping into
I
one.
thought so too. He motioned like he was going to. Glenn inside. That was going to be a tough assignment for him as Henry Clay just kind of tripled down on him.
And the thing about it
They
was,
fouled
Cal,
him.
did you see how surprised Michael was when he caught the ball? He makes a good cut. You have to expect it and know what you're going to do when you get the basketball.
Mosby into the game with 2 fouls along with Miles and Gallagher. They'll team up with Glenn and Brown. Micah Glenn finds Queese open. He will not take the 3 this time. He will set the offense, look for Micah up top. 25-21 Henry Clay, trickling down to the 4-minute mark in this second quarter. Gallagher, Mosby, spins at the line, backwards pass, bounced it to Micah Glenn, kind of behind his back. Micah will take the 3, leave it short. Rebound to Hawkins, quick outlet to Conlon Brown. Brown will get it inside to Mayhorn, and Mosby commits his 3rd foul.
And that comes from not cutting the ball off and not getting out to the – they're not cutting Conlon Brown off as he's coming down in transition. That's what's killing him.
Conlon Brown has just recently hit his 5th 3, and now Nick Mosby has picked up his 3rd foul, and both of those things are bad trends for Scott County as Mayhorn hits the first free throw. He'll have another.
Mayhorn, he looks very young. I bet what is he?
He's a junior.
Junior, is he? Nope.
Made the first, missed the second. Rebound, Christopher.
Christopher has to be stronger with the ball. Has to. Henry Clay's got very active hands in the zone.
Queese will take his time right now without Mosby for the final 3:20. Scott County might be well advised to do this.
Yes.
Drain some time off the clock. They bounce it into Gallagher, kicks it out to Glenn. Maybe got away with a walk, then an off-balance jumper from about 6 feet that rolled in off the back rim.
Not sure why Michael passes up a shot to go in there and do an acrobatic. Great that he hit it, but it's a very ill-advised shot.
Good hustle by Tristan Christopher to knock the ball away from Cason Brown. It will stay with the Devils, who lead 26-23 at the exact 3-minute mark to go, second quarter.
Gallagher has to know who he's guarding here. Can't get out of position.
Mayhorn guarded by Gallagher. Conlon Brown thought about another 25-footer. Daquise Brown all over him, and they will bail him out and foul him in the act of a long 3 from the claws of the Cardinal at half court.
This is going to put Conlon Brown more than likely at 18 points for the quarter with 2:50 to go.
I mean, it's as good as another 3 if he makes them.
Yes.
That's why they tell you don't foul a jump shooter. Makes the first.
Another big body coming in for Henry Clay.
They've done a good job. Mason Hawkins has not scored. He's the leading scorer for this Henry Clay team at over 16 a game, but they have certainly have the Devils gotten a great start to the night from Conlon Brown. They now have their largest lead of 5, looking to expand it to 6 with his 3rd free throw. 6 fouls for the half on the Cardinals, 4 against the Devils with 2:50 to play. That was the first personal for Q. Brown makes all 3, as you predicted, and as I might have as well. He's got 18.
18, wow.
18 of the 29. They lead by 6. Micah to Queese to Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's about time to...
Quick pass from Glenn to Gallagher. He mishandled it, and then Christopher got in there to commit the foul to stop the fast break.
I just don't think Gallagher is the one in the middle there, Cal, that's going to be able to catch it and be the passer and know what to do when he gets the ball. That's not his role.
Hawkins going to get his chance to get on the board as he will have the one in the bonus situation. Great Crossing girls are tied at the half, 27 apiece with Madison Southern.
McGrath has a noticeable limp as he comes back in the game.
But he is in the game.
He's going to give you everything he's got.
It'll be sore in the morning.
Yes, he will.
Sure. Get some ice on that when you get home. Missed the first free throw. Hawkins having a tough start.
He's
and the
just
rebound
short
comes
tonight.
down to Queese.
Scott County says, thank God he's off with you. Got Conlon.
Nice quick pass from Gallagher. Off balance shot by McGrath is no good, but he'll go to the line. We'll see how he uses those legs with the ankle injury.
He got bailed out right there, Cal.
He's walking okay right now.
He was not going to hit that shot.
No, he was not. So one good turn deserves another as they've bailed out a couple of shooters down at this end. Lamarion makes the first free throw. Looked good on the stroke there. Scott County teams have been shooting the free throws well lately when they get to the line. We saw a girls game the other night where 27 for 31. That was insane. McGrath, I jinxed it. He missed the second. 5-point game. Henry Clay on top. 2:20 to play in the first half. Mason Hawkins yet to score. Gets it to Conlon Brown, who has scored in abundance. Finds Kaysen Brown. Kaysen puts the spin on Jay-Z and the no look, but the miss and the put back by Kyan Miller. Miller came in from the other side as Walker Spalding missed the layup.
See the difference in the Brown brothers there. You got Kaysen, you can tell he can get to the paint and distribute.
He is a showtime passer,
yes,
and Conlon is a showtime shooter, a volume shooter. McGrath kicks it out to Glenn.
That's good ball movement. Keep it going. There you go, right
Jay-Z
there.
Jay-Z for a deep three.
Yep,
yes, we saw him taking him from that very spot in pregame, and that's where it pays off.
I like when Mike was able to pass from the point and you get Jay-Z on the wing coming off screens.
That's his forte. Gets his first 3 points of the game, 31-27. Big stop here for the Cardinals if they can get it. Conlon Brown gets rid of it to Miller.
Help.
Drive for Hawkins. Hawkins' Euro step floater is good. First crafty. 2 points of the night from Mason Hawkins.
Very crafty.
Brother Harris Hawkins was a heck of a player. Dayquist from the foul line. Bonk. Rebound to Kaysen Brown. And now Hawkins will take his time as it ticks down to the 1 minute mark. Henry Clay calling their top-to-top play. Catch and shoot three from Mason Hawkins. And guess who we don't want to heat up?
Yep.
He's made his last 2 shots, that one from the outside, and it's a 9-point lead, largest of the night for either team.
You got to be able to stop the three. I mean, those guys are on. They're running their offense and they're getting uncontested threes. We're getting caught down the lane behind screens and getting killed.
Jay-Z with it up top. Finds Micah Glenn. 30 seconds to play in the half. Noah Gallagher to Jay-Z. They might be content to take 1 shot here. Mosby on the bench with 3 fouls. Queese, 15 seconds. Run it down to about 5, get it to the rim, draw a foul, or do something.
It's too late now.
Jay-Z's wide open, 5 seconds. Queese found Glenn, time running out. Middleton from deep at the horn, no. Front rim, no good as time expires. Your halftime score, the Henry Clay Blue Devils 36, the Scott County Cardinals 27. We'll have your scoring at the half. We'll talk about Great Crossing Madison Central coming up on Friday night here on the network. I'll be with Keith Greiser for that one, but Derek, I'm sure, will be able to chime in and give us some a little bit of a preview to that. It's going to be a good one in the 11th region. We'll let the band serenade you for a bit. It's hard to talk over them. That first half, Derek, was the Conlon Brown show.
As we saw a repeat of last year. I mean, there's no secret as what Conlon Brown can do. You get him off the dribble, and he's not nearly effective, but you let him come off screens and off their offensive sets, and he's going to knock it down. And again, 18 points at half, and it's unbelievable.
Dayquist Brown and Micah Glenn both with 9 for Scott County to lead the Cardinals. Lamarion McGrath with 3, Jay-Z Middleton with 3.
And we got to do a little more to get, Jay-Z's 1 for 2. That second one, though, is a desperation last-second shot. Really doesn't count.
Noah Gallagher with 2. Actually, Lamarion McGrath has 4. He hit a free throw, there, for the total of 27. Then we'll go to the Henry Clay. It's much easier to give you their scoring rundown as one guy has 18 out of the 36. At one point, he had 18 of 29, and then Mason Hawkins heated up and got himself 5 quick ones. Dance team going to perform for you here at the half.
Dance team going to dance?
Dance, I said.
Dance, I said. Dance.
Lynch with 4, Mayhorn with 3. Part of that was a dunk. He's the 6'8" youngster, junior, but
He's
he
a
looks
big
like
kid.
he looks like a raw talent.
He really does. I was on the floor earlier and before the game. He is a big kid.
Smith, Garrett, and Miller all with 2. So actually, they've got some different guys in the mix here, even though Conlon Brown.
Offensive rebounds again,
scored.
Cal.
Yeah, that's a lot. A lot of that is coming
Yes,
off
it
of.
is.
You're right. And if we could see the stats, it would bear that out. So Friday night, Great Crossing in Madison Central. A lot of people have talked up the big 3 in the 11th region this year. We're seeing tonight that Henry Clay is going to be a tough out as well. There'll be some others, but you've got Great Crossing and Lexington Catholic both in the top 5 in the state right now. And then you've got the kind of enigmatic third favorite there, Madison Central. They've had their ups and downs. They have a win over the number 1 Warren Central Dragons. They handled Scott County pretty good, at least had one really great quarter that's kind of spurred them to an 18 to 20 point victory. But they've had some nights where they just didn't show up, and they've also had some transition with Hagan Harrison leaving the team lately. Kind of a wounded team of Indians coming in, but a very dangerous one on Friday night.
Sure, absolutely. And, it's going to take a big effort from Madison Central to beat Crossing, especially now that's a little bit down when you're taking, 20 to 25 points out of the lineup. We're talking about a kid who can absolutely control a ball game. As we know, he got Scott County for 35 points there, and then, all of a sudden the kid just doesn't want to play the game anymore, which is kind of sad. You got to think of, as we talked earlier, how much of that is mental, or is he just, where he's played so much over the years, he's just said, I'm done.
There's a lot of expectations on kids now. For a lot of them, it becomes a year-round thing. We know he played football as well, so it's hard to question a kid if they say they're done, they're done. I mean, that's the world we live in.
It is exactly right. You can't force them.
There's not much you can do. There's a lot more emphasis than when we were kids on that sort of thing. And if they're just not feeling it, then they're not feeling it. And
right.
It's made it a different sort of assignment for Great Crossing, which has been through that in its own right this year. They've got that core of 6 guys who have really led them to new heights this year. The junior Jeremiah Godfrey has just taken off lately, and then you've got those 5 freshmen, Trey Dawson, Malachi Marino, Gage Richardson, Janias Burrell at the point, and then Christian Martin doing it all, kind of that 5th and 6th man.
They are fun to watch.
They are fun. They are a dunking machine right now. The last couple of games, they have flushed 5 or 6 of them, and it's come from different guys. Marino, Godfrey, and Dawson all got one in the other night. They're 14-3. They have 6 days to prepare for that game, so you got to like that. Madison Central is also one of those teams that seems to be stronger at home. They seem to get calls. They seem to go to the line a lot. I know you were talking with Daniel Brown before the game. Henry Clay had that experience down there as well.
When the opposing team is shooting 26 free throws and you're shooting 3, something's a little bit off there.
Something's amiss. The same thing kind of happened to Scott County when they went down there this year. So it's a tough place to play, and that's why it's really urgent if you are in the 11th region to win your district, because the last thing you want to do is draw a game at Madison Central in the first round. One of Scott County's greatest teams ever in 2019 had to go down there and win a Donnybrook.
Oh my gosh, it was a great game.
Or actually, it might have even been 18. Now that I think about it, the 18 team had to go down there, and then
they got the first round of the region draw and had to go there, right?
And then in 20, they had to go to Frankfort and play on another team's home court. So it was 19 and then 20.
And that's when they ended up winning the region then, right?
It was both times. So you can do it. But point being is Great Crossing should have a good home crowd and an advantage of sorts in that regard, and just with their ranking. And, you look at the Max Preps, not only are they in the top 10, but they have the second toughest schedule computer-wise of the teams that are in the top 10. So they have not backed down from this first half of the schedule. It'll cool down a little bit after Madison Central. They'll settle in with some district games. Great Crossing should be a heavy favorite in that district. They'll have some tests. They've got a neutral court game against Lexington Catholic a couple of Saturdays from now over at Franklin County. That should be really good. Good chance those teams will still be in the top 5 in the state by then. So
Is that a little classic played over there?
That's a 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night on. Yeah, it's in the Gary Moore
Gary Moore Classic. Yeah,
classic there. It's an all-day affair, so it'll be fun. As the teams, at least
that'll be a packed house.
Henry Clay taking the court again. Scott County, what do they have to do to get back in this? It seemed like they were in it, and then you let Mason Hawkins score a quick 5 there to stretch your deficit out to the maximum 9 right now.
Cal, they need to get stops. They need to get stops when they count. I mean, you got to look and you got to find where number 1 is. He's going to come out. Best thing that happened to Scott County was halftime. So now, can Colin Brown do the same thing? Well, yeah. If he's able to come off of screens, set his feet, and get the shots that he wants, he's going to knock them down. So
you've also got to get defensive rebounds. It's got to be one and done. You mentioned that at least 10 of those points were off the glass.
Yes, absolutely.
It's one thing to give a guy 5 threes and you tip your hat to some of those that he made, but the other, points like that are preventable.
Yeah, we have to get Nick Mosby and Jay-Z Middleton going. Micah hit some shots. Micah seemed to be didn't have his full legs there towards the end. These guys need to step it up right now and say, hey, somebody's got to find number 1 and go and take it upon themselves that we're going to make everything tough for him. If you make him put it on the floor, he's not going to be as effective as when he's catching and shooting off of a double screen.
And we've got Nick Mosby with 3 fouls for Scott County. We talked about the health situation, but Lamariar McGrath rolled his ankle in the first half. Just saw Eli Moody down there getting treated for some back spasms, it would appear. So this is not 100% by any stretch. We said Middleton's still got the tape on his wrist. He hit a shot that looked good there in the first half. You just hope that this team can glue it all together and make a run here in the second half and make a statement for how it's going to be for them in the district this year.
And I think they can. I think they're going to, but again, the key, find Colin Brown. Actually, and Hawkins started to come alive there a little bit. Play straight defense each possession, and then run your offense on the offensive end and be patient. You're going to get what you want against this Henry Clay defense. Be patient. We got enough guys that can put it in the hole.
I do like you mentioned Daquise Brown staying within himself. I thought he was the highlight of the first half for just that reason for Scott County. He played the game you want from him. He took good shots. He was penetrating and pitching. He was finding open teammates when the situation called for it, when he had that opportunity. We're going to see that a lot more in the second half for them to be successful.
I totally agree. And one thing he's always been as well, he's always been a defensive stopper. I don't know why he doesn't take it upon himself to go, you know what, Colin Brown's not going to score. And I know we want to keep him out of foul trouble, and he's probably subject to foul. But to have someone continue to knock down 3 after 3 and not step up, that's just
at some point, somebody out there has to, have a sense of pride, step up and be the guy to say, I'm going to stop that. They might beat us. Someone else might beat us, but it's not going to be number 1.
You're exactly right.
I mean, and not one of those 5 threes was on the line.
No.
He was 2-3 steps back for every one of them. Fading away, facing away. He's just a high-volume shooter. Daniel Brown's Henry Clay Blue Devils came in at 500, but we said that's deceiving, and it has played out that way. Recall that the freshman team beat Henry Clay tonight.
And there's my matchup there, Cal. There's Daquise Brown, guarding Colin Brown. And that's a good block. Oh, no.
We thought it was, but they're going to get Queese for the reach on Hawkins.
Donnie Warner making that call.
Tough one. Hawkins a good chance to make this a double-digit lead with either of these free throws.
And one thing that I do not agree with, Cal, and this is Derek Varney's opinion, nobody else's, and
send your cards and letters.
Exactly, take it for what it's worth. Daquise Brown, you do not help down to commit that foul. You do not help down off of Colin Brown. If he goes to the restroom, you go to the restroom with him.
That's right. 2 points there, the easy way for Hawkins. He's got 7, probably in the last 2 minutes of basketball here, and it is an 11-point lead, largest of the night for Henry Clay. Micah Glenn with it to Daquise. Conlon Brown not giving Jay-Z Middleton much space. That seems to have been a point of emphasis at halftime.
I love how Jay-Z cuts. The rest of them don't cut that way.
Took a three that rolled off the rim. He'll chase after the rebound. Now he's on the floor hustling for it. You like that?
Good.
Look. But Henry Clay with Cortavian Smith diving after it.
Be careful diving in there, Nick. You don't want that fourth this early.
You don't want a fourth foul, and you don't want a concussion.
Well, you don't want it in this quarter.
Yeah.
That fourth foul, especially.
Nick's the guy we've got to keep healthy for this stretch run.
Yes.
And keep on the court.
A little OB under here, which we're normally very good at.
Queese looking. Jay-Z trying to break free. He got to Mosby first. Now
Shoot it, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z standing way back in Conlon Brown territory. Going to get a whistle here and
got a hold there. Good.
Get a foul on Henry Clay. I was afraid they were going to call a moving screen or something. They're going to get the third foul on Mason Hawkins. So that's good news for the Cards.
Absolutely.
7:08 to play. That evens it up a little bit with Hawkins and Mosby, the two leading scorers. Inbound pass on an easy bank from short range from Micah Glenn.
People don't pay enough attention to that. When the referee hands you the ball, the opposing team's normally still trying to look around. Make that quick pass, just like that.
Hawkins from the baseline under duress from Glenn. No good. Rebound tip to McGrath.
See that
deflected on the pass. Just a lazy pass that gets finally taken away by Glenn. McGrath and Lynch get together. Slow to get up. Middleton drives. Wild layup that's missed. Ball is loose. McGrath chasing it. It went off of Lynch or Brown, and it will stay with the Cards.
Cal, did you see when Jay-Z caught that pass right there, how wide open everybody was on the other block over there because they kind of stepped over? I was hoping he would see that.
Instead, he took it himself. Cards within 9 with the ball. 6:40 to play. Smith guarding Queese. Queese bounce pass, back cut for Glenn, but anticipating it and intercepting it was Hawkins.
There's one of Queese's passes.
Conlon Brown fade away from inside the arc. The rare two. He's got 20 points and even 2-0. Half the output. And only 9 fewer than the entire Scott County roster. They're down 11. Glenn, catch and shoot three is short.
Just dead
McGrath
legs.
Chases the rebound. McGrath drive, blocked, foul. It won't be a block as they'll get Garrett.
That's those types of moves is what Lamar, he got bailed out right there, but that's what he really struggles with is trying to make a big man post move because he just doesn't have any. That's not a knock on him. He just never has. He needs to catch facing the basket and not be able to have to make a basketball move.
McGrath makes the first free throw. Kyan Miller is going to check in, but it's not going to be for Hawkins. I thought it would be for Hawkins. Instead, it's Garrett. Hawkins going to stay in with 3 fouls.
I'm okay with that.
I would say go after him. McGrath rolls in the second as well. He has 6 points.
Scott County's going to put full court pressure right here. Make Henry Clay handle the ball. I agree. Oh, there we go.
A little pressure in the backcourt. Hawkins looking to get through it, guarded by Glenn. Now he'll get it across the timeline. Cortavian Smith, drive. Tried to go up and under, blocked and rebounded by Mosby.
Got to score here.
Nick to the rim. 7-point game.
Keep the pressure on.
We've seen situations like this in games like this where Nick Mosby has taken over, and he needs to do it here tonight. There is a tough rebound, and Mosby didn't have much choice but to let him go. Can't commit the 4th foul there.
You got Naquise Brown gambling down here instead of playing Conlon Brown straight, and it leads to a layup. You cannot gamble.
9-point lead. Middleton catches it from Glenn. Back to Micah. 5:20 to play.
Got to move, guys. Got to move. You're stagnant. Nothing happening here.
Jay-Z drives to the foul line, kicks it to Mosby, spin cycle, back to McGrath for an open 3. In and out. Rebound comes down to Conlon Brown. Brown looks ahead to Smith. Smith, layup, blocked by McGrath. Rebound by Queese. Queese up ahead to Mosby all alone for the easy layup.
Boy, Nick.
7-point game once again. Mosby, after
tired.
being shut out in the first half, has 4 quick ones.
Good timeout. Very tired. Conlon Brown is still controlling everything on the offensive end. I say you back off him, token pressure, make him get rid of it, then don't let him get it back. But when he gets ahead of you, he's very fast with the basketball.
Mosby with 2 quick buckets here to get it back to a 7-point game. 42-35 your score. Henry Clay on top, but Scott County showing some signs of life. They've trailed by as many as 11. They led briefly a couple of times in the first half. It's been the Devils most of the way. Pressure here out of the timeout.
There's now a trap. Now, there we go.
Kason Brown gets it to Lynch. Lynch again doubled at the
That's a great rotation right there. Now, if you let Kason, if we play him token defense right here, Cal, he's going to try to make something happen. He's going to turn the ball over.
Mason Hawkins playing with 3 fouls, gets it to Lynch, left open for a 3. Scott County willing to concede that, but Kyan Miller, we talked about the offensive boards, needed to be a point of emphasis in this half, and so far the trend continues. Q with a deep 3, in and out, rebound Miller. Probably not the shot Scott County wanted.
Exactly right.
Hesitation dribble and a fadeaway for Conlon Brown. The rare miss. The offensive rebound for Kason Brown gets pushed to his back, and he'll go to the line. Foul is on Queese. Great Crossing girls have ripped it open, 46-31 late in the third quarter. Kason Brown towing the line, missing the first. He'll have a second, try to give his team a 10-point lead once again. 4:04 to play, third quarter. Makes the second. The big man checking in again, Peyton Mayhorn, the 6'8 junior.
Can't afford really, Cal, to have many more empty possessions on this end. We need to let's run our offense and get our shooters involved.
Time's a wasting as they are down 10, 12 minutes to go in this one. Q tiptoeing across the line.
Back into a 2-3 zones, Henry Clay. That's a good look.
Inside to Moody.
It's a great
pass and a finish for Eli for his first 2 points of the night. Assist by Q. Good look there.
Yep.
8-point game. Conlon Brown guarded by
stepped out of bounds
Brown.
right there.
Daquise
trap him.
not giving him much space, which is a good thing. Mason Hawkins, deep 3 from the left corner. He's heating up. Mason Hawkins with 10. He averages north of 16, and the lead is double digits once again.
Yeah, they had a good defensive stand right there, and just you can't have guys run free. They got to know the rotation, and they got to rotate and get out to the corner shooters.
Quade Miles had a shot, stepped inside the arc to take it, and it's good.
I like his little mid-range game, Cal. You don't see it very often, but when you do, he's deadly from that range.
8 guys now in the scoring column for Scott County. They're still down 9, 48-39. Much of the damage done by Conlon Brown for Henry Clay. He's got the ball now, guarded by Daquise. Miller trying to screen and roll. Instead, they'll get it to Kason Brown from the left baseline. That was a tough angle. He had Miles all over him, missed it. Glenn rebound. Here comes the
straight
Cards.
up, Micah. Boy.
84 feet
great
drive.
take. Boy, Micah.
Micah Glenn with 13 to lead the Cardinals. They're back to within 7. 2.5 minutes to play, third quarter.
Got 2 buckets in a row. We need a stop right here.
And another timeout for Daniel Brown.
Yeah, I don't know why, and they're talking to Daquise about you don't need to guard him belly to belly. Let him do all the dribbling that he wants. Once he gets rid of it, then you got to deny the ball.
So a couple of times in this third quarter, Scott County has cut it back to 7 and gotten Daniel Brown's attention. We'll see what the Blue Devils come up with here. It's kind of basket swapping. That's the only problem for the Cards, is they really need to go on an extended run here. Henry Clay with 3 timeouts remaining. Scott County with 4. 2 team fouls each way with 2:28 to play here in the third quarter.
We need to get Jay-Z back involved here, Cal.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. He is seated right now. You have a 5 of Miles, Mosby, McGrath, Glenn, and Brown for Scott County. Hawkins inbounds it to Conlon Brown for Henry Clay. Conlon Brown guarded by Daquise Brown, as he has been for much of the night. A little bit closer to the best.
That's 5 seconds. It's got to be 5.
They had to burn another timeout.
There we go. Nice.
Third timeout they have used in a short window. That could be crucial if it comes down in the closing stages.
The small things in games like this matter, Cal, big time. Don't use, and Daniel Brown's going to say, don't make me have to use timeouts for that reason right there, that nobody can get open and come to the basketball.
He says,
great
son,
defensive stand
and this
by
time
Scott
he really
County.
means son. Don't make me use another timeout.
Right.
Henry Clay, the defending 11th region champs. They knocked out Great Crossing in the semifinals on their way to that title.
Yes, they did.
It was their first trip to Rupp in a while.
Wow, it's been a while.
I can't remember how many years it had been, but it had been a good long while.
I want to say early 90s.
I was going to say last century.
Obviously won it in 83.
I would have to go back and look.
On a Greg Bates tip-in to make it 43-41 in overtime. How about that?
Yeah. On that
Who had the under in that one?
On that Steve Miller team.
Yes,
people want to talk about basketball being low scoring these days, but there were times back then when it was. There's a steal by McGrath. McGrath will take it the distance and knock it in. Short range jumper on the drive.
Scott County's defense is on another level right now, Cal. And they really are. You see the energy in their legs. They're really getting after the ball.
5-point game, closest it's been in a good hot minute. Catch and shoot 3 for Hawkins was going to try to put a stake in that, but it went off of Henry Clay, off of the fingertips of Miller. Miles was there, and the referee was right on top of it to say Cardinals ball. Chance to cut it to a single possession.
And I hope these kids understand right now what this possession means after they've scrapping hard on the defensive end. They fought back from being 11 points down. Big possession right here.
Jay-Z back in the game. Micah Glenn has it, looking for somebody. Now he finds Mosby. Mosby has played with 3 fouls this entire quarter.
Back to him. Knock it down, Micah.
Glenn will drive and kick to Mosby. Mosby guarded closely by Lynch. He finds Middleton. Minute to go, third quarter. 48-43, Henry Clay. Micah had it, drove it.
That's a charge.
They got the block. Yep. I think we dodged the bullet there.
We did, big time.
And I believe that's number 4 on Mason Hawkins.
And Micah hit him hard, too. It's when you get hard and then they call the foul on you, it's double trouble.
That was a shot.
Makes it hurt a little worse. Out of bounds under right here, what Coach Glenn's best at.
Okay, well, he didn't have 3 fouls then because they posted, I think earlier it was, they had a typo on the board earlier because it clearly said 3 fouls the last time he got a foul. And now they're saying he has 2.
They got it to 4,
That's
right?
why there was no, they've got 2. That's what they announced too.
Right.
That's why there was no urgency to take him out. I apologize for that. I was going by the big scoreboard in front of me there. That'll learn me. As they're going to dry off the patch where the scene of the crime took place. That was a collision and a half. It's going to be they're going to call the foul on the floor, so Jay-Z is going to inbound it. And now a timeout, 30 for Tim. That'll take Scott County down to 3 timeouts. With 54.9 seconds remaining in the third. A 48-43 game.
I like where we are right now, Cal. I mean, I don't like being down 5, but I like the way the momentum has swung. The big Mo.
A transition bucket by McGrath has got it to within 5. It was up to 11 a couple of times.
And the big difference, as we spoke at halftime, Colin Brown's got 2 points in this quarter. A step back jumper,
they have done a good job, and that was exactly what it. Jay-Z with it out of the timeout. Finds Mosby. Mosby thought about a three. Got it to McGrath for a foul line
Nice.
jumper that's good.
Nice. He's not being. That's a bad matchup for Miller because McGrath can take him out on the floor and get him away from the bucket.
Lamarion in double digits with 10. It's a 3-point game. This looks like so many 42nd District games we've seen in this building the past 3 years against Henry Clay, Bryan Station. And there's a wild miss by Conlon Brown, and overreaching over was Miller, and Mosby had the position, and Scott County will have a chance to get within one or even tie it in the closing seconds of the third period.
Big possession. I mean, I've said that a lot, Cal, but they're all big right now, especially at the end of the quarter. Scott County's got to get better at the end of the quarter to get Mosby a look, to get Micah a look, to get Jay-Z a look. Somebody just do something to have them a successful play to get your shooters at the end of the quarter, get them a shot.
I believe this has been an 8-0 run, and they've done it without those two guys supplying much of the offense.
Yes, it
has.
has.
McGrath, Moody, and Miles. Middleton will dribble out the remaining seconds.
Go
down
with
to
8.
10.
Go with 8.
Jay-Z going now, guarded by Brown. He gets it to Daquise Brown. He'll get it back underneath. Kick it to McGrath for a potential tying three. No, front rim, no good. Time will run out.
I saw it leave his hand. He wasn't ready to shoot the ball.
But a good quarter for the Cardinals. They outscore the Devils 18-12, and they get it within 3 at 48-45. Tonight's player of the game will be presented by BMT Maintenance Inc., or LLC, excuse me, BMT Maintenance LLC, 502-735-7007. Going to be a good one to wrap it up here in the fourth quarter, as Henry Clay had an 11-point lead that has all but evaporated. They'll start the fourth period with the ball. Mason Hawkins, who was playing with 2 fouls. We've got clarification on that now. We'll inbound it to Conlon Brown.
Nick Mosby's playing with 3.
He is absolutely playing with 3. He picked up his third with about 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
So really going into the fourth quarter, either team doesn't really have foul trouble.
Good shape as we go down the stretch. Henry Lynch finds an open Conlon Brown. My goodness, don't let that happen. In and out, though. Rebounded by Mayhorn, who finds Kason Brown.
Lamarion has to put a body on him when the shot goes up.
Trapped and stolen. Oh, they got a foul. My goodness. He's a lot closer than I am, but my goodness. That hurts.
Absolutely no way on that one. That was a great steal. He got him as the ball was coming up. Jay-Z was ripping it from him. It's not like he came down and chopped at the ball.
Jay-Z looked like he had the hand in there. Instead, it's his second foul, and Henry Clay has another possession with 7:30 to go. Conlon Brown much more closely guarded by Queese. He kicks it out to Kason Brown. Reversed it to the other corner, did Conlon. Left it short. Rebound Lynch, and those offensive boards are just killing Scott County, but it went off of Lynch. Somebody from Scott County got a hand in there, and Lynch lost it. Lynch is trying to plead his case to no avail.
The Lynch mob.
The spin-off band from Dawkins, as it were.
That's right.
Mob back in the 80s.
George Lynch.
The other George Lynch.
That's right.
Not the one that played in the NBA.
The Don Dawkins George Lynch.
The one that played the guitar. Spin by Queese.
Oh, my goodness.
Nice hesitation. And the drop off to McGrath.
Oh, my goodness.
1-point game. Bring it, Lamarion. We saw him limp off in the first half. He has played one of the best halves of the season here to get the Cards within 1.
That was all cue right there.
That was a beautiful look.
Now,
after the
as long as if you watch Daquise, he'll try to get over. He's not getting there in time and
he's
gambling.
going to commit the foul instead, but at least he didn't do it in the act of shooting.
Cal, you have to when you have a shooter like that. Believe me, I had pesky guys, such as a Coach Glenn who guarded me all the time in practice or whatever. you have to get behind that guy and literally put your hands around his hips to get around the screen. So when he catches it, you're there. If you try to go over top, you're going to get caught around the back of the screen.
That's the 4th foul for DeQuise. So Quade Miles will check in, and thank goodness for the depth. Lynch, backdoor Hawkins, guarded by Mosby, blocked by Mosby. Tipped, though, to Lynch, who gets his own putback. Lynch beat Scott County with a putback at the buzzer last year, and he's put his team up by 3 here.
Mosby cannot do everything on his own on the boards.
For the tie, Micah Glenn,
wow,
yes!
Boy.
Wide open 3 to tie it at 50 apiece.
Boy, Micah, way to knock it down. If you notice, anytime Micah's got his feet under him and his legs on apart and everything's in balance, he's a knockdown
Wild
shooter.
shot, Kaysen Brown, rebound, McGrath.
Cal been saying all along, let Kaysen go.
Spin, Mosby for the lead, in and out.
Don't
Rebound,
belly him up.
Henry
Stay
Clay.
back and let him dribble. Do not belly him up. That's what happens right there. Why belly him up? He's 30 feet out on the court.
Quade's going to get called for the foul. 5:34.
He can't shoot over top because of his size. He wants to go around you. Lay back, and then once he gets rid of it, deny him the ball.
Smith checking in for Kaysen Brown. Hawkins will inbound it to Conlon Brown. Deep 3. Conlon Brown's gone cold, thank goodness, but fighting for the rebound is Mayhorn. Lost the handle as Mosby again got a hand in there. Ball is on the floor, tied up. Who's it going to be? Should be Cardinals possession arrow. Nope. Stays with Henry Clay. That's right, the quarter changeover.
Nope, it is ours.
That went to, I was going to say the quarter changeover went to Henry Clay. Another chance to take the lead for SC. 50-50. 5:15 to play in regulation.
One time, Micah.
1 for 3. Once again, back rim, no good. Tipped, and coming in from the back was McGrath as Mayhorn had position. 6-team foul on the Cardinals.
That is the cleanest look Micah Glenn's got all night. Caught Henry Clay sleeping on this end. J.Z. Middleton advanced the ball up, and Micah just rimmed it out.
Drive. Conlon Brown left it on the front of the rim, but another offensive rebound up for grabs, but finally Mosby comes away with it. The third time the Cards have had a chance to take the lead.
Putting pressure on Brown this half. He's really been no factor.
Quade Miles. Back to Glenn. Take your time, get a good shot here.
Screen. Go hard. Cutting hard and screen.
SC hasn't led since midway through the first quarter. McGrath for 3. Yes, sir!
Wow. Coach Glenn with a big timeout right there. I'm good with that.
And with 4:32 to play, Scott County in the lead for the first time in a good while, 53-50.
They've worked their tails off.
Lamarion McGrath.
Nice.
And it is a 16-2 run. This is a huge game. I tried not to play it up too much before we started, but I really feel like as much of a must-win as this can be this early in the district schedule for Scott County, just to get them off on the right foot. Been a few years since they've been able to win that district opener. And in a year where everything's kind of jumbled, you want to pull it out.
Yeah, this has been everything that we talked about it was going to be in pregame. 42nd district matchup, early January.
Cards have overcome an 11-point deficit here in the second half to lead by 3 with 4.5 minutes to play. Conlon Brown has been held to 2 points after having 18 in the first half. He bounces it inside to Henry Lynch, who got a relatively uncontested layup but missed it.
There we go.
Mosby tore down the rebound, and they'll get Lynch for the frustration foul. That's the 15th foul on the Devils.
You know, that was a good set out of the timeout from Coach Daniel Brown. They got what they wanted. We came over, Nick Mosby came over and helped perfectly and got big. He didn't just come over and guard. He came over and got long, as he is, and gave Lynch trouble. Now they're back in their, looks like a 1-3-1 here.
Scott County looking for its largest lead of the night all of a sudden.
I believe it's Jay-Z time.
Middleton from 20.
Jay-Z
yeah,
time.
baby.
It's Jay-Z
it's
time.
Jay-Z time. Tear the roof off the sucker, 56-50. 19-2 run.
Let him dribble.
Wild pass from Conlon Brown for an open three in the corner.
Yep.
That's good. They left Cortavian Smith open in his second field goal of the night, but coming right back down is McGrath to draw the contact, and he'll go to the line with 3:40 to play. Makes the first. 2-possession game again at the 3:40 mark. And another.
Wow, did this game turn quickly.
Lamarion with 17.
They got to know that Brown's going to try to make something happen here.
And the ball's on the floor, and a steal for the Cardinals. And guess who? Lamarion McGrath.
About Jay-Z time again here. Run your offense. Be patient.
Inside to McGrath. Wild pass to get rid of it and avoid the turnover. Middleton dribbles around and saves the possession.
That was lucky.
3 minutes to go. Cards in the old catbird seat. Up by 5. And a foul on the Devils, and we are in the bonus situation. Yep. Next foul both ways.
Good, and they fouled Nick Mosby.
Nope, Glenn.
Nope. Oh, got Micah.
Not a bad alternative.
Absolutely.
Micah Glenn has 15 points tonight. Lamarion McGrath with 13 of his 17 here in the second half. Good Micah
boy.
Makes the first. Chance to make this a 3-possession game.
Ice water in his veins right now.
Swish. Micah Glenn makes it 60-53. Devils all of a sudden in a hurry. Brown to Lynch to Miller. Kick out to Smith.
Got to rotate out. Do not leave
Conlon
him.
Brown had some space, but Jay-Z closed it up. He'll dribble inside the arc and miss a wild one. Ball tipped around, though, and Hawkins grabs it. Short-range jumper, no good. Rebound, McGrath. All Scott County right now, and Lynch lands awkwardly, and we've got an official's timeout on the floor.
I tell you what, he's it's gone the opposite way for Conlon Brown, Cal, and it's just as we talked. Coach Glenn he made that adjustment at halftime. He said, make him earn everything that he's gotten. Make him put the ball on the floor. He puts the ball on the floor. He's just not that good off the dribble, but he's a knockdown shooter.
He's been held to 2 points after 18 before the break.
We need to play to win here instead of play to keep from losing. We still need to go after.
We've seen this movie a few times the past couple of years.
We need to run offense and get something easy.
McGrath, the man of the hour.
Here we
gets
go.
it to Jay-Z for a double-digit lead from the corner. No good. But Mosby gets it back and lays it in. Probably not the shot they wanted or needed.
Got to find somebody. You got to find them.
But Mosby finished the possession right. 62-53, and at the 2-minute mark, Mosby's going to get a reach in for his 4th foul.
It's 4 on Nick. Scott County's just kept chipping away, and what happened, Cal, is they were getting positive possessions on the defensive end. The scoring was coming to them. Henry Clay's they're not gonna kill you with their defense. It's their long-range shooting, wide open long-range shooting.
Henry Lynch, his 9th point of the night on the front end of the 1-and-1. He'll get a second.
I mean, Colin Brown's one of the best shooters in the state, and he proved that in the first half.
Great crossing, girls. 3 minutes left. They're up 8, trying to nurse that one home. And Lynch makes both free throws here. 62-55. Little pressure in the backcourt. Getting through it is Daquise Brown. Up ahead to Jay-Z, up ahead to Micah Glenn. Kicks it back to Mosby, playing keep away. Middleton back to Mosby for the reset. 1:49 to play. 3-possession game.
Screen and move. Don't get trapped.
Middleton. McGrath in the corner.
That's
Grabbed by Hawkins.
Foul.
He didn't go after the ball.
No, that's an
an
intentional foul.
McGrath will go to the line for 1-on-1. They rarely call it anymore, but that would have been a case where you could have. Lamarion McGrath, 17 points. His career high is 21. He'll make this one here.
And you know what? This is Lamarion having a quality game against a quality team. His, not to take his 21 points away, but the other teams that we've seen at a higher level just kind of disappears. This is an incredible game that he's playing tonight.
He saved one of his best nights for one of the biggest games of the year. Ball tipped around after the miss of the second. If they get Mosby, that's number 5. Could be Micah Glenn on the rebounding action.
I hope it is Mike in this case.
Mosby has fouled out with 1:40 to play.
Nick's pleading his case. Nick got thrown down.
Tim Glenn's pleading the case too. The referee showing the grab of the shirt. He's made that motion a couple of times. Hawkins at the line to try to close this to a 6-point game. Don't let him hang around. Mason Hawkins has 11 points after that. His team is within 7. Clock stopped. That's the best news if you're Henry Clay at 1:40. And Mosby has fouled out. Hawkins rolls in the second. Pressure. They almost throw it away, and they do throw it away. Hawkins steals it. Now Middleton fights back and gets it to an open McGrath. McGrath goes to the rim. Can't get the lay in. Puts it back. 8-point lead. Lamarion McGrath is your BMT Maintenance LLC player of the game. Deep 3 for Cason Brown is no good. Coming in from the backside to no avail is Henry Clay, and McGrath hauls down the rebound. I bet he's got a double-double.
I bet he does too. He got to.
McGrath will shoot 1-and-1. Makes the first. He's been cool down the stretch. Only missed that last one that led to the foul out of Mosby. Makes them both here. So 5 free throws. Career high 22 points by my calculations.
Yep. Incredible game for him. Very proud of him.
$12 in the fourth quarter. Deep 3. They really have no choice at this point. Conlon Brown missed it. Lynch missed the second try from inside, and it goes off of Henry Clay. And Scott County is on its way to 1-0 in the 42nd district. I wasn't sure about it 45 minutes ago, Derek.
I really was not either. I saw it going the opposite direction. I thought Henry Clay was really, when they went up 11, I said, this is going to be another 15, 18-point ball game.
Blue Devils about to absorb their 5th consecutive loss as they threw it to McGrath. A turnover here that the Cards didn't need. 1:04 to go.
McGrath needs to understand and back the ball out. We don't need that at that point. Absolutely do not.
Conlon Brown, minute to go. His team down 10. He'll find brother Cason. Cason with the drive. Strong take. He'll draw the foul. Clock will stop at 56.5.
Okay, I want to take this opportunity to say hi and send well wishes to Coach Glenn's in-laws that are listening in Portsmouth, Virginia, and Michael's grandparents. Send well wishes to Roger Woodington. Say hi to Miss Woodington as they're listening in Portsmouth, Virginia. The big Cardinal fans, of course.
Good that we reach beyond the borders of our
absolutely
fair Commonwealth.
They're always tuned in and keeping up with Micah and Coach Glenn. And Roger's been a little bit under the weather, and want to let him know we're praying for him. Hope he gets well. And thank you for tuning in and pulling Micah and Tim's Cardinals through tonight.
Social media and technology and the internet have their drawbacks, but they certainly do make the world a smaller place and help some people stay in touch with their home front.
And I hope we did our job.
Cason Brown made 2 free throws to get it to within 8, but now the Cards will go back to the line. This last minute's going to take a while. The Devils are not calling off the Dogs by any stretch. That is the 4th foul on Mason Hawkins.
Yes,
it took a while, but he finally got there.
There it is.
Lamarion McGrath padding his career night with a free throw. He'll have another. It's double bonus situation at this point.
He's got the chance to put a little 30-piece on him here tonight.
He's going to close in on 24-25 here. Makes them both 69-59. A nice night indeed for the Cardinals as time is running out on the Devils. Drive for Conlon Brown. He has just had a rough second half after setting the world on fire.
Well, even a left-handed layup right there won't go for him. So, and if I recall, Cal, again, I keep bringing up last year's game. Same thing happened. He hit 7. He hit
streaky.
7. Right. He hit 5, 6 threes in the first half, maybe 1 in the second. And it's you know what? But it's because as we talk, as a coach, Coach Glenn knows, hey, Colin Brown is hotter than a firecracker. What are we going to do here and talk about at halftime? He's not going to beat us. He's not going to beat us in the second half, and that's exactly what he did. Put the matchup of Q Brown on him and makes him put the ball on the floor, and he struggled.
This is a particularly satisfying win. Assuming the Cards close it out, it'll be 69-61 after those 2 free throws, 48.4 seconds. But this is the Henry Clay team that has knocked them out of the district semifinals 2 years in a row and kept them from getting back to regions. They haven't been to regions since winning it in 2020. And Henry Clay's been the reason. McGrath to Glenn. Middleton. And now a foul. We'll stop it with 37.5 seconds.
Here's where your seniors step up right here. And, as McGrath McGrath's not a senior, but J.Z. Middleton, get the ball in the hands of your free throw shooters. Micah knocks down a couple. McGrath's knocked down several. They've done a good job at the foul line tonight. You can't panic in this situation. The clock is your worst enemy. You don't really want to go to the line right now, Cal, at this point in the game. You want to keep the ball hopping on our offensive end and not shoot free throws because it stops the clock.
Jay-Z makes the first free throw. And the second. He's got 8 points. His highest of a season that has been interrupted by injury. Inside for an easy bucket for Conlon Brown, and Daniel Brown will use a timeout at the 31-second mark.
Coach Glenn saying, you know what, don't foul, but don't make it that easy. Guys, step over in front of him, challenge that shot. It doesn't matter if there's 35 seconds to go. Challenge that layup. Still got to make it tough on them.
The girls' game was once a 15-point lead for Great Crossing. Now they are clinging to a 53-51 advantage. 43 seconds left. Mad South with the ball and a chance to tie or take the lead. That would be a hard one to swallow if that one slipped away. Great Crossing girls trying to snap a 3-game losing skid. They're at 9-7 on the season.
That's just rough.
What's the score of the UK game? Have we got an update lately?
Final score, South Carolina 71, Kentucky 68. Unbelievable.
I got nothing.
I don't know either.
I got nothing. I don't know if the plane is waiting on the tarmac in Austin or what, but that's all I can think of. It just seems like everybody's kind of disengaged right now. Dug themselves a hole early and couldn't dig out, could the Cats? Middleton to inbound, his team leading by 8, 31 seconds left. They will try to foul Q immediately. He'll get rid of it, throw it away. Hawkins with a steal. Stolen back by Jay-Z Middleton. Just what you said.
Yes.
The fifth-year seniors will
need
not
to
be denied. We had an official fall down here, and now he will blow the whistle, or somebody will blow the whistle as there is a foul with 19.2 seconds.
Referee went diving on the floor.
Jay-Z kind of rolled an ankle there himself. He's going to try to get into double figures. That'll be a good feeling. Warhawks made a couple of free throws in the other game to stretch it back out to 2 possessions. Home team's trying to go 2-0 tonight. Boys here and girls over there. Jay-Z 3 for 3 from the line. Middleton, perfect.
Cool as a cucumber.
73-63. Conlon Brown let the ball roll to save some time, but it's all academic at this point.
And we're taking
strong take and a possible 3-point play for Skylar Hersey, who's only come in the game very recently.
As a coach, I will tell you this: you're not mad at that kid for moving over and taking a charge. At any other point in the ball game, right there, it's meaningless. And as you said, clock stopped. They're getting another chance to get points on the board.
Hersey to try to complete the 3-point play. It still would only close it to 7. He rolls it in. 14 seconds remaining. Henry Clay will put on the full court pressure. They'll try to trap Q. He'll get it away quickly to Jay-Z. Jay-Z has been a difference maker in this game as well compared to what we've seen in the first part of the season. He will dribble out these final seconds. 6-5-4. They will grab him with 3.8 seconds to play.
Jay-Z is just as tough as they come. And you know what? Kudos to these kids tonight. These Scott County Cardinals tonight. Micah Glenn, great game. Lamarion, incredible game. Nick in a little bit of foul trouble. Still stayed cool.
Finally got the full complement of players that it showed.
You're exactly right.
5 for 5 from the line. Down the stretch is Middleton.
And the guys who switched off and on in the second half on Conlon Brown, starting with Daquise Brown. I mean, he does an incredible job defensively. Quaid comes in and gets on him.
Jay-Z Middleton with 9 of his 12 in the fourth quarter. That 3 will roll off the rim, and your final score, the Scott County Cardinals 75, the Henry Clay Blue Devils 66. Cards 1-0 in the district. Devils drop to 0-2.
As Coach Glenn said, Cal, he said, we can hold serve Tuesday night, which is tonight, and beat Henry Clay. You never know what can happen when we go on the road Friday night, maybe hopefully steal one from Frederick Douglass.
And Great Crossing has staved off Madison Southern. Ava Skierman with the block at the horn.
Nice. Congratulations to them.
56-54, the final there. You're scoring from here tonight. Lamarion McGrath with a career-high 24. Micah Glenn with 18. Jay-Z Middleton with 12. Daquise Brown with 9. Nick Mosby, they did it on a night where Nick Mosby was in foul trouble and held to 6 points. Conlon Brown, let's add it up, 24 for him, but 18 came in the first half. Your player of the game, sponsored by BMT Maintenance LLC, is Lamarion McGrath, 24 points, and I'm looking forward to seeing his rebound totals as he was probably double digits there as well. Congratulations to Lamarion.
He had to have a double-double.
Had to have a double-double.
Absolutely, congratulations to Lamarion.
Welcome back, Jay-Z Middleton with the 12 points. And Scott County goes to Douglas for a big one all of a sudden Friday night.
Would have been a lot bigger with a loss tonight.
It feels a lot better when you can at least hold serve at home, like you said, and like Coach Glenn said. Looking forward to this post game, but until then, until next time, we'll see you Friday night. I'll see you with Keith Greiser for the Great Crossing Madison Central game. But until next time, for Derek Varney, for James Scoggin, for Mike Scoggin and DT Wells, I'm merely Cal Oak saying good night, God bless. Your final score one final time. Scott County 75, Henry Clay 66. Good night, everybody. Oh. Me?